Hey everybody, so today the book of focus is Exodus, and the reason why I chose this one is because it also has a lot of the names of God in this chapter as well. So we think that it was written by Moses, because Exodus is of course in the Old Testament, and it's one of the earlier ones as well, just like Genesis. And the summary of Exodus: God delivers his people, the Israelites, from slavery in Egypt. So he saves them. He talks about the 10 plagues on Egypt that forces Pharaoh to release the Israelites. So this was a good kind of superhero story because he saves his people. And the first name of God that's mentioned in Exodus is Jehovah Nissi, which means the Lord my banner. So Jehovah, just like in the previous video, it means to be or to exist. It also is another name for Lord. Nissi means banner. So Moses recognized that God was Israel's banner during their defeat over the Amalekites. So if you think back to any of the wars that you've studied with Mrs. Sane, think about maybe like World War II. All the soldiers are dressed in a certain color. They have a certain flag that they carry when they are marching to the war zone. So all of those colors and the flags that they carry to represent them is their banner. So God would be the Israelites' banner, because they are his followers and he is their protector. He is the one that represents them. So this name is first represented in Exodus 17 verse 15. It says, Moses built an altar and named it, "The Lord is my banner." To represent that the Lord was the one that represented him and he was his servant. And if you want to underline "the Lord is my banner," just so it kind of pops out at you there. The next name that is mentioned is Jehovah Rapha. Jehovah, to be or to exist, also is another name for Lord. Rapha means to restore or to heal. So God is the great healer of physical and emotional needs of his people. So the Lord that heals is what this name represents. And it is first mentioned in Exodus 15 verse 26. And he said, "If you will give earnest heed to the voice of the Lord your God, and do what is right in his sight, and give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you which I have put on the Egyptians, for I, the Lord, am your healer." So he is telling his people that if you do what I say and you follow me, then I will protect you from these diseases and I will heal you from any sicknesses. So he is kind of trying to understand just his power and that and his goodness for them. The next name is Jehovah Mekadishkim. So Jehovah means to be or to exist, also another name for Lord. Mekadishkim means to sanctify, holy, or dedicate. So this name means that the Lord who sets you apart from work and for rest. So it's also worded as the Lord who sanctifies you. So if you are a follower of God, then you have sort of this characteristic about you that sets you apart from the rest of the world. And that is one of the reasons why we take a day, such as Sundays, to worship him. That is our day away from work. And that is our day for rest, to just worship the love that we have for God. And this name is first mentioned in Exodus 31:13. But as for you, speak to the sons of Israel, saying, You shall surely observe my Sabbaths, For this is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. So the day of Sabbath is the day that we go to worship Him. And here in America, it's Sundays. So this is considered kind of like the last day of the week, even though technically it's at the beginning of the week. It is the day that we are not working. We spend time with our families. We spend time with God. We go to church and learn about Him and praise Him. So that is our day to kind of just be reconnected to God, is the day of Sabbath. And being a follower of Him, it gives us permission to be able to do that. And the next name is Quanah, which means jealous. And this one can be taken in the wrong way if you don't know the meaning of it. So jealous we usually consider to be a bad thing. But if God is jealous over us, it's a good thing. It means that He loves us and He cares about us. So if you've, I'm sure you've all heard that the church is His wife and we are the church. So the church people is God's wife and He is the husband. So God thinks of us as being in a marriage with all of us and His people. So He wants all the praise for Himself. So in other words, He does not want us to go and worship someone different, because we are in a marriage relationship with God, being that we make up the church people. So He is jealous or envious to the point where He wants us to worship Him and only Him, because He's our creator. So He has every right to expect that of us. And this is first mentioned in Exodus 25. So you shall not worship them or serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Okay, so He is telling us that we should not worship anything else on earth, only Him. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, on the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. So this is just going on to tell us simply that we are in a relationship with Him, and if we choose to be in that relationship, then we must give Him all of us. We must give Him all of our worship, all of our praise, which is to be expected, of course. And that will actually cover Exodus, and the next couple of books that we're going to focus on will actually only cover just a few names. So these next videos are actually going to be pretty short. So just stay tuned and we will cover the rest of the names of God. And have a great day.